To find out the derivative, you have for 11th question the 6th subdivision as 5 sin x minus 6 cos x plus 7. So the derivative of this will be, that is d by dx of this function will be d by dx of 5 sin x minus d by dx of 6 cos x plus d by dx of 7. Now you can take out 5. So the derivative of sin x should be written, minus 6 can be taken out, constant, into derivative of cos x plus derivative of the constant 7. So this will give you 5 into derivative of sin x cos x minus 6 into derivative of cos x minus sin x. So this will become positive, plus derivative of constant is 0. So you will get this much as the answer for the derivative of the given function. Derivative of this function 2 tan x minus 7 sec x d by dx of 2 tan x minus d by dx of 7 sec x. Now you can take out 2 from this, so derivative of tan x minus 7 can be taken out into derivative of sec x. Derivative of tan x is sec square x minus 7 into derivative of sec x is sec x tan x. So this is your answer for the next subdivision. The derivative of minus x from the using the first principle. So for that, first we will start with f of x is minus x. So f of x plus h will be minus of x plus h. Instead of x we are writing x plus h. Now f dash of x with your first principle is limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. That is limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus of x plus h minus x divided by h. Limit h tends to 0 minus x minus h plus x. So this will go. So you are getting limit h tends to 0 minus h by h. That is limit h tends to 0, 1. You don't have any h there. So the answer will be negative 1. Here you have a negative sign also that you can take out also from the limit. Okay, so the answer is minus 1. For the constant you will have only 1 here. So minus 1. The answer is minus 1. So derivative of minus x is minus 1. You can just check for the derivative using your direct method. So what you can take out negative sign and you have to find out the derivative of x, and derivative of x with respect to x is 1. So you will get minus 1 as the answer. So this is only for checking whether what you have got is correct. For other problems also, if you are using first principle, you can check where what you are getting is correct or not. Okay. Next one is minus x the whole raised to minus 1. So since it is minus 1 in the power, you can write it as 1 by minus x, right? Okay, or else it is minus 1 by x. Now this is your question. So for f of x you are taking as 1 minus 1 by x, and you will get f of x plus h as minus 1 by x plus h. Instead of x you have to write x plus h. Okay, so now limit, this is your f dash of x, which is limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x whole divided by h is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h is minus 1 by x plus h minus 1 by x. So it will become plus 1 by x. Minus of minus will become plus here. Now taking the LCM, 1 by h is here. Taking the LCM, will get x into x plus h in the denominator, and the numerator becomes minus x plus h, right? So that these two will go. This will give you 1 by h into, here in the numerator you have h, by x into x plus h. This you can cancel. So it is limit h tends to 0 1 by x into x plus h. Replacing h with 0, what you will get? 1 by x into x, that is 1 by x square. Now again checking this, give you d by dx of, the question is minus 1 by x, right? If you are checking the direct method, minus will be taken out, d by dx of 1 by x. 1 by x again can be written as x raised to minus 1. So it is minus d by dx of x raised to minus 1. And x raised to minus 1's derivative will be minus 1, negative you have, minus 1 into x raised to minus 1 which is minus 2. So these two negative will give you positive sign and this will become x raised to minus 2. That is same as 1 by x square. So the answer which you got is correct. Using your direct method you can just check that. Okay, sine of x plus 1 is your f of x. So what will be f of x plus h? It will be sine of, instead of x, we will write x plus h, plus 1 is already there. So we are just changing x with x plus h. So the function f of x plus h becomes sine of x plus h plus 1. Now f dash of x is again limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h, which is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h is sine of x plus h plus 1 minus sine of x plus 1 divided by h. Now again you can use here in the numerator, it is in the form sine a minus sine b or sine c minus sine d. What is sine c minus sine d? It is 2 cos c plus d by 2 sine c minus d by 2. Okay, so that we are using here. You will get limit h tends to 0, 2 cos this plus this, x plus h plus 1 plus x plus 1 by 2 will give you 2x plus 2 plus h by 2, right? And the second term will be sine of this minus this. So x will get cancelled, 1 will get cancelled and you will get h here. Okay, h by 2. And in the denominator you have a h. Now what we will do, we will take this 2 to the denominator of h so that we can combine these together. Okay, so this becomes limit h tends to 0 cos of, here it will be, if you are taking out 2 or else you can just directly afterwards give that. Okay, it is 2x plus 2 plus h by 2, or else here if 2 is taken out this will become x plus 1 plus h by 2 like that. Okay, and here for sine of h by 2 we are taking this denominator part h together with this 2 taken in the denominator of h like this, so that we can apply the limit property. So what you will get here, this will be limit h tends to 0 cos of x plus 1 plus h by 2, if I am separately dividing with 2 for each term, into limit h tends to 0 sine of h by 2 by h by 2, and this is giving you 1, so that here you are left with limit h tends to 0 cos of x plus 1 plus h by 2. Now you are replacing h with 0 and that will give you cos of x plus 1. So that is your answer for the derivative of sine of x plus 1. The derivative is cos of x plus 1. Okay, this is taken as f of x cos of x minus pi by 8, and f of x plus h will be cos of x plus h minus pi by 8. So f dash of x is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Replacing the value for the function will give you cos of x plus h minus pi by 8 minus cos of x minus pi by 8 whole divided by h. Now the numerator is in the form cos c minus cos d. What is cos c minus cos d? Cos c minus cos d is minus 2 sin c plus d by 2 sin c minus d by 2. Both sign term together with a negative sign, right? So here what you will get, limit h tends to 0 minus 2 sine of this plus this by 2 will give you, here you will get 2x, these two will give you 2 pi by 8 and h by 2 into sine of the subtraction of these two. So you will get only h here whole divided by what you have h. Okay, So this is inside the angle, h is in the denominator. So limit h tends to 0, minus 2 sine, here what you will get, this will become x minus pi by 8 plus h by 2, and here it is sine, okay, here it is h by 2 also, no, by 2, that I forgot, okay, h by 2, whole divided by h you have. Now again, as in the earlier problem, we will take this 2 together with the denominator as the denominator of h and make it as a single term. Okay, so limit h tends to 0, minus 2 sine of x minus pi by 8 plus h by 2, sine h by 2 by h by 2, and giving the limit separately, you will get minus 2 can be taken out, limit h tends to 0, sine of x minus pi by 8, sorry, that 2 has been written together with this, right? With h we have written already, so you have a negative sign only here, plus h by 2 into limit h tends to 0, sine h by 2 by h by 2. So that will become 1 and you will be left with only this term, and here again you will replace h with 0, so that this will give you minus sine of x minus pi by 8 plus 0, that is minus sine of x minus pi by 8. X plus a. It's very simple, x plus a, what is the derivative of this function? So if it is f of x, the derivative of x plus a will be derivative of d by dx of f of x will be d by dx of x plus a, derivative of x plus derivative of a. X is, you will get this as 1 and here it is a constant, so it is 0. So the answer is 1, right? You should take a as a fixed constant. Now the next one is px plus q into r by x plus s. This is the next question. Okay, so here p will be constant, q constant, r constant and s constant. So finding out the derivative means you can use the product rule also here. So for product rule, what is that? First its derivative, suppose I am taking this as f of x. So f dash of x will be px plus q into derivative of r by x plus s plus r by x plus s into derivative of px plus q. That is px plus q into, what is the derivative of this, right? So derivative of this term will give you derivative of r can be taken out here, okay. If you are taking out like this r by x, here again you can take out r from the derivative part, so that it becomes r into d by dx of 1 by x plus d by dx of s plus r by x plus s into d by dx of px plus d by dx of q. So first term will be px plus q into, here if I have taken r out, then we are left with d by dx of 1 by x. 1 by x means it is x raised to minus 1. So d by dx of x raised to minus 1 will give you minus 1 x raised to minus 1 minus 1, which is x raised to minus 2. Okay, so the derivative I can write it as minus 1 by x square. Derivative of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square. So here what I will get, minus r by x square, r into minus 1 by x square, so it is minus r by x square, plus the derivative of s is 0, plus r by x plus s into, again p can be taken out, this will become d by dx of x, so that it is 1. So p into 1, which will give you p, plus derivative of constant, q is constant, derivative of constant is 0. So in total what you are getting, px plus q into minus r by x square plus r by x plus s into p. Now if you want, you can multiply them, simplification part. So you will get px by minus prx by x square, x get cancelled, so you will get minus pr by x minus QR by x square plus PR by x plus PS. So minus PR by x and PR by x get cancelled and you will get PS minus QR by x square. Okay. This is the term f of x equal to given as ax plus b into cx plus d the whole square. Again we will use the product rule. F dash of x is equal to ax plus b into d by dx of cx plus d the whole square plus cx plus d the whole square into d by dx of ax plus b. So ax plus b into, here you have to, again what I have told, if you have something like, if it is not x, you have to use chain rule. So suppose I have x square, the derivative of x square will be 2x into, actually you are not getting anything because into the derivative of x is 1. That's why you are getting only 2x. Now suppose instead of x you have some other term. So what you will do is, suppose here you have a term, just this is the term, right? D by dx of cx plus d the whole square. So how you will differentiate is, first we will treat it as x. So if it is x square, what you will write 2 into x square. So instead of x what you have here, cx plus d. So it's 2 into this much. Then what you need to do is, whatever is in place of that x, you have to write the derivative of that term also. And this is known as chain rule. So here you are getting 2 into cx plus d into the derivative of cx plus d. Okay, derivative of cx plus d will give you what? Derivative of cx means c can be taken out, derivative of x is 1. So you will get c. And derivative of d, again it is a constant, so you will get 0. So you are getting 2 into cx plus d into c. Understood? So this will be written in place of this. So derivative of cx plus d the whole square, when you think orally, how you have to think is 2 into cx plus d into the derivative of cx plus d, and that will give you c. Okay, plus cx plus d the whole square into the derivative of this. Again here a is a constant, derivative of x will give you 1. So you will get first term as a and the derivative of b will be 0. So this is 0. So what you are getting at last is 2c into ax plus b into cx plus d plus cx plus d the whole square into a here. If you want, you can take out cx plus d from both the terms. That is not compulsory. If you are taking out, what you will get, cx plus d into 2c into ax plus b plus a into cx plus d. Okay. Next one, that is ax plus b by cx plus d. So here it is in the form u by v, so you can use the quotient rule here. That is, if this is your f of x, then f dash of x will be denominator, that is cx plus d, into derivative of numerator minus numerator into derivative of denominator whole divided by denominator square. So when I say denominator, I have written cx plus d there, and when it is numerator, you have to write ax plus b. So I have used the formula now. Okay, now we will differentiate cx plus d into derivative of ax plus b. Derivative of ax will give you a into derivative of x 1 and derivative of b is 0. So you will get only a there. Okay, minus ax plus b into derivative of cx plus d. Again c is a constant, take it out, derivative of x is 1 plus derivative of d is 0. So you are getting only c there, divided by cx plus d the whole square. Now again, if you want, you can just axb. Okay, you have a chance to get a cancellation for one term, so we'll expand it. acx plus ad minus, here you will get acx minus bc. So that this get cancelled. If you can reduce the equation, you just simplify it. Otherwise, you can just keep it like that. Okay. So here we have a chance to cancel this. That's why we are writing, so that the numerator becomes ad minus bc divided by cx plus d the whole square. 1 by x by 1 minus 1 by x. So first we will just simplify this. and then differentiate. Okay, first taking the LCM, you will get x plus 1 in the numerator, and here it is x minus 1 by x. So this get cancelled and you will get x plus 1 by x minus 1 as the term. Now we will differentiate this term. So you have to find out the derivative of x plus 1 by x minus 1. Again it is in the u by v form, that is you can use quotient rule. What is quotient rule? Denominator into derivative of numerator minus numerator into derivative of denominator divided by denominator square. X minus 1 into derivative of x plus 1 will give you 1 plus 0. So it is 1 minus x plus 1 into derivative of x minus 1 is also 1 minus 0. Derivative of x 1, derivative of 1 0. So you will get again 1 here divided by x minus 1 the whole square. So it is x minus 1 minus x minus 1. This is x plus 1. Removing that is the bracket, you will get minus x minus 1 divided by x minus 1 the whole square. So that it is minus 2 by x minus 1 the whole square. Okay, minus 2 by x minus 1 the whole square. 1 by ax square plus bx plus c. So you are taking f of x is equal to 1 by ax square plus bx plus c, so that f dashed of x will be, here again you can use the quotient rule with the numerator is 1 and denominator is this term. Okay, so what you will get is denominator into derivative of numerator. Derivative of numerator is, actually numerator is a constant, so you will get the derivative to be 0. That means this term will go, minus derivative of, or 1 into derivative of ax square plus bx plus c whole divided by ax square plus bx plus c the whole square, which is equal to derivative of 1 0. So you will get ax square plus bx plus c into 0 minus 1 into this derivative of this term. Now again for derivative of this term, a is a constant, d by dx of x square. D by dx of x square is 2x. So you will get 2ax as the first term. For second term, bx, b is a constant, derivative of x is 1, so you will get b. And third term is c, only a constant, so the derivative of c is 0. So you are not getting anything there. Divided by ax square plus bx plus c the whole square. So this will go, you will get only this minus of 2ax plus b divided by ax square plus bx plus c the whole square. This is the answer for the derivative of 1 by ax square plus bx plus c.